We treat our lives like a fixer-upper house. From the moment we're old enough to compare ourselves to others, we are handed a checklist of repairs. We're told our quietness is a social deficit to be patched. We're told our impulsivity is a foundational crack to be filled. We spend decades in a state of perpetual renovation, convinced that once we've finally leveled the floors and reinforced the walls of our personality, then, and only then, can we actually start living. But I want to ask you a question that might feel uncomfortable. What if you're not broken? What if that crack in your foundation isn't a flaw, but a design feature? In architecture, sometimes a gap is left in a structure to allow for expansion. Sometimes a wall is left out to let in the light. Today, at LifeDraftShop, we are putting down the hammer. We are going to stop the exhausting project of fixing you, and we're going to start the intentional work of strategic weakness. We're moving from the renovation phase to the design phase. In our earlier sessions, we talked about finding your natural fluency, the things you do with ease, but every strength has a shadow. It is a biological and psychological law. You cannot have a mountain without a valley. If you are a deep, analytical thinker, your shadow is often indecisiveness. If you are a high-energy, visionary leader, your shadow is often a lack of attention to detail. For years, you've probably been trying to cut away the shadow. You've taken courses on how to be more decisive or how to focus on the small things. But here is the professional truth. When you try to cut away the shadow, you often dim the light. If you successfully fix your analytical depth to become faster, you might lose the very insight that makes you valuable. If you fix your visionary impulsivity to become more cautious, you might lose the courage that builds companies. Masters don't try to be well-rounded. A circle is a shape with no edges, but it's also a shape that can't find traction. We aren't looking for roundness. We are looking for traction. We want to keep your jagged edges, your strengths, and simply build an environment where the gaps, your weaknesses, don't cause a collapse. To design a workaround, we first have to categorize what we're dealing with. Not all weaknesses are created equal. First, there is the boundary marker. This is a weakness that simply signals the end of your natural fluency. You aren't bad at it, it's just not your language. Think of it like a bird trying to swim. The bird isn't a failed fish. It's just at the boundary of its environment. When you hit a boundary marker, you don't need a lesson. You need a system. Second, there is the contextual flaw. This is a trait that is only a weakness because of the room you're in. If you are highly sensitive and work in a high decibel, aggressive sales floor, your sensitivity is a flaw. But if you move that same sensitivity into a therapy room or a design studio, it becomes your greatest asset. Before you fix yourself, check your room. Third, there is the signal for rest. Sometimes, what we call a weakness, like a sudden inability to focus or a short temper, isn't a personality trait at all. It's a physiological check engine light. It's your design telling you that you've exceeded your capacity. You don't fix this with a productivity app. You fix it with sleep. Most people try to overcome their weaknesses with willpower. Willpower is a beautiful thing, but it is a flickering candle. It is affected by your blood sugar, your stress levels, and how well you slept last night. To rely on willpower to manage a weakness is like trying to hold back the tide with your hands. You might succeed for a few minutes, but eventually, you'll tire. Systems are different. A system is an architecture you build once that works forever. If your weakness is that you forget to follow up with people, don't try to be a better friend. That's a moral judgment that leads to shame. Instead, build a system. Set a recurring digital reminder for every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Now, the system is your memory. You are free to be your forgetful self because the architecture holds the weight. If your weakness is perfectionism that leads to procrastination, don't try to be more brave. Instead, use a system like the 20-minute draft. Tell yourself the work must be terrible for the first 20 minutes. You've designed a room where your perfectionism isn't allowed to enter until the second hour. You are the architect. Your life is the draft. Stop asking, how can I be better? And start asking, what would this look like if it were easy? I want you to take out your notebook. Clear your desk for a moment. Let's do a quick audit of your friction points. List 3 things you consistently beat yourself up for. Maybe it's your messy desk, your late replies, or your tendency to overcommit. Now, for each one, I want you to draw a bridge. If the friction is a messy desk, the bridge isn't being cleaner. The bridge might be the Sunday reset, a 10-minute ritual where you clear everything off, no matter what. If the friction is late replies, the bridge might be a draft template, a pre-written note that says, I've seen this, and I'll get back to you by Friday. Do you see what happened? We stopped judging the flaw, and we started engineering the bridge. You are allowed to be messy. You are allowed to be slow. You just have to be the kind of architect who accounts for those things in the blueprint. There is a profound peace that comes from finally giving yourself a permission slip to be human. Strategic weakness isn't about being lazy. It's about being selective. It's about deciding that your energy is too precious to be spent on patching cracks that don't need to be patched. When you stop trying to fix yourself, you suddenly find you have an immense amount of energy available to amplify yourself. You are not a project to be solved. You are a life to be lived. Spend your energy on your light. Build your systems to manage the shadows. Thank you for being here at LifeDraftShop. I'll see you in the next draft.